Oh, when you put me in jail? Yeah, that didn't scare me.
I wasn't trying to scare you. I was trying to convince you how important this was, how dangerous this is for you to play games in a system you don't know about.
That's why you guys were laughing when I went to jail on the Zoom meeting?
Brother, I have never laughed at anybody I put in jail. Not once
Okay.
in 22 years,
All right.
including you. I did not want to put you in jail. I want you to get an attorney because you're in over your head.
You want my money?
I don't want your money. This is not about money. We lose money on jury trials, Mr. Garrett. We don't make money on jury trials.
Right. You don't want to go to jury trial. I do.
I don't mind going to jury trial. I just want you to have an attorney with you when you go.
But the attorney you guys gave me wasn't doing anything.
Well, he wasn't giving you the advice you wanted, maybe.
No, he wasn't doing anything.
Did I lose you?
No, 21-0833 is the one that needs to be arraigned on.
Looking for that one right now. That's the only one that has not yet been arraigned?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Garrett, we've got a new file here, February 5, 2021, misdemeanor charge, 2 counts, no certificate of occupancy and no business license. Each of those are misdemeanors, each one punishable by up to 93 days, I believe.
Correct.
Up to 93 days in jail, each one up to $500 fines plus.
Is it a
court
state
costs.
case?
Understand that?
Yeah, I don't know. Is it a state
Hello?
case? I don't know what case it is.
Heather, you're coming through
Oh,
out
wait.
here.
Sorry, Judge.
Mr. Garrett, did you understand that?
Yes.
Okay. Entering a not guilty plea?
Yes.
All right. Now, we've got a bunch of other files that we had scheduled. I think all of those files, the last thing we had scheduled on those misdemeanors was your jury trial date. Is that correct, Mr.
Correct.
Goodell?
We also had a show cause hearing that he failed to appear on December 16th.
All right, so.
I came down, didn't
What's
I?
your pleasure with all these misdemeanors, Mr. Garrett? You want me to set these for a final pretrial to see if you can resolve something? Maybe get an attorney involved? You want to go to a jury trial? What do you want to do?
Either we can go to a jury trial or you guys can just drop them, whatever.
Well,
you guys.
I don't think that's going to happen. I can't drop files just because somebody asked me to. If you want to file a motion, you've got some kind of legal basis, then we could hear the motion. But
Yeah, we can go to a jury trial.
all right, you're going to show up for this one?
I show up to the last one.
Yeah, after you told everybody you wouldn't be here, so we canceled the jury.
Yeah, but I don't think that was right that you guys revoked my bond because of it. But
That's not up to
I
you.
was
I get to make
sick,
a lot of decisions I don't have to ask you about.
right?
So have you thought about the last time I had you in here, I tried to convince you to get an attorney involved?
Oh, when you put me in jail? Yeah, that didn't scare me.
I wasn't trying to scare you. I was trying to convince you how important this was, how dangerous this is for you to play games in a system you don't know about.
That's why you guys were laughing when I went to jail on the Zoom meeting?
Brother, I have never laughed at anybody I put in jail. Not once
Okay.
in 22 years,
All right.
including you. I did not want to put you in jail. I want you to get an attorney because you're in over your head.
You want my money?
I don't want your money. This is not about money. We lose money on jury trials, Mr. Garrett. We don't make money on jury trials.
Right. You don't want to go to jury trial. I do.
I don't mind going to jury trial. I just want you to have an attorney with you when you go.
But the attorney you guys gave me wasn't doing anything.
Well, he wasn't giving you the advice you wanted, maybe.
No, he wasn't doing anything. When we had a ex-party conversation on the Saturday and Sunday, he told me something way different. And then when we went to court, anything that he said there was nothing said that what me and him talked about. It was just, oh, okay, you're going to do what we want, or you're going to, or we're going to be mad at you.
This is going nowhere, Mr. Garrett.
No, I know.
Heather, what's that jury trial date you gave me?
Either March 14th or April 4th, whatever best for prosecution.
Monday, April 4th, Your Honor.
Mr. Garrett, April 4th is your jury trial date. Understood?
Yes.
If you're not here that day, I'm going to issue a $10,000 cash bond.
Your Honor, the people would like to address bond conditions if possible on the record.
All right. One more chance. You want me to let you talk to a court-appointed attorney?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not against that.
Are you willing to come in person to do that? Because it might be easier on the prosecutor and the attorney.
You know, I would, but I don't have the extra money to just throw around because you guys want to put me in jail over some ordinance violations.
I'm not going to put you in jail if you show up
That's what you did last time for no reason
because
at
you
all.
violated my bond.
Why did I have a bond in the first place? When did I go to jail?
Because you have criminal files. I set bonds on all criminal files.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Not that you had to post
I
a
don't give a
5.
shit what you know, Mr. Garrett. I'm telling you what I do.
Okay, I just don't remember going to jail to where I should have to bond out $500 and get it taken from me.
All right. Heather, what's the date?
I'll talk to the press.
April 4th.
All right. That's your trial date, Mr. Garrett. Let's talk about bond, Mr. Gazelle.
Gazelle, you're
I'm sorry.
12 years late on that one.
I'm stuck in wrong in this moment.
All right. Yes, Your Honor. I appreciate it. Josh Kaplan. And I want to just put some facts on for the record because I do believe the record is going to be important in this case.
Go ahead.
When considering bond, and for Mr. Garrett to understand, some of the things that you need to consider, Your Honor, is safety to community, safety to oneself for the defendant, and participation in the court proceedings. So just a brief summation of some facts. In 2020, there was a state charge, where Mr. Garrett was allegedly pointing a gun at an employee. About 3 weeks ago, that case was, the warrant was not signed on it. The importance of it is because they couldn't find the victim anymore after it sat in the prosecutor's desk for 2 years, pending the signing of the warrant. He's charged with running dumpsters out of a residential property and no C of O. He's still continuing to do that today. There's still no C of O. You addressed the bond conditions on October 7th. He is not 2021. In that time, he has never been in compliance with your court orders. He was found in violation of that on October 21st of 2021. November 5th, 2021, new charges were issued after defendant drove over the neighbor's lawn. When police were called, the defendant and his girlfriend were sitting there and threw firecrackers at the police car. He yelled at the officers to get off his lawn, and he ran in his house and refused to cooperate with officers on that case. December 7th, 2021, police were called 2 days before jury trial after allegedly he shot a gun in the air while my witness, who is his neighbor, was pulling into his driveway at night. The next day, he sent an email stating he had COVID and he couldn't get out of bed. The court asked for a valid test for COVID and or doctor's note, which none was provided. December 16th, show cause motion date. He failed to appear at that show cause hearing. In December that same month, his mother called the city hall demanding that we dismiss this because his mental health was felt faltering and she was worried that he was going to harm himself.
No, she
January
didn't.
28th of 2022.
This dude lies. He lies. This guy lies. That's all
An
he does.
email to the prosecutor
Mr. Garrett,
entitled
please don't interrupt. I'm going to give you a chance to respond if you'd like. Just don't interrupt.
on January, and I apologize, Your Honor, but this is important for the record, I believe. January 28th of 2022, an email was sent to the prosecutor entitled, "You are a punk. Off the record, would never say this in a courtroom, but it's true. 34th District Court prosecutor is a punk." In that email was rambling conspiracy theories. It also was an admission that his mental health is faltering. He said that he's mentally unstable in that email. So, Your Honor, basically the people's stance was that with these allegations of weapons, new charges, disregard and hostility toward police, lack of cooperation and respect for this court and court orders, admission of mental instability, and continuing conspiracy theories and
Now, this is where the case shifts into serious territory. The prosecution isn't just talking about minor violations anymore. They're laying out a pattern: alleged weapons incidents, repeated non-compliance, disputed property usage, and even claims of hostility toward law enforcement. That's a major escalation in bond hearings because the court isn't just looking at guilt or innocence. It's evaluating risk, danger to the community, risk of flight, and whether the defendant can even comply with orders. What makes this moment critical is the push for mental health evaluation and restrictions like firearm removal. That's not routine. It signals the court is seriously questioning stability and safety concerns. But here's the real question for you watching. Is this a fair precaution based on behavior, or is the system overreaching before trial? Drop your thoughts, because this is exactly the kind of moment that splits public opinion right down the middle.
Okay. We believe that he is a danger to the community, a danger to himself, and a flight risk, whether it be a flight risk of leaving town or just refusing to cooperate or show up to any of court proceedings or your orders. And as such, for bond conditions, the people are asking for a couple things: either mental health treatment or forensic exam for competency, order that due to his admission of his mental instability, order that he's not to possess or store any weapons in his home during the pendency of this case, order permitting Romulus police to remove any dumpsters on his property since he's failing to do so himself, a cash bound of $5,000 without 10%. And we're also asking, Your Honor, that the civil infractions in this case be set, and we're not for April 14th, but have a formal hearing scheduled earlier than that so we can get those out of the way prior to that April 4th jury trial date.
All right. Mr. Garrett, would you like to speak to an attorney before you respond to that bond request?
No, Your Honor.
You're sure?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Most of the stuff he just said is just like what he thinks, I don't remember ever getting caught pointing a gun at anybody. I don't ever remember anything like that he just said. Am I going a little crazy because of all this? I might be. Who wouldn't? You guys are dragging me through the mud over nothing. There is no dumpsters on my property. There is a broken down trailer that's been on my property since day one that I'm waiting to get parts for to fix it. Every single thing that you guys were complaining about is off my property. I haven't brought anything else new. I don't conduct a business out of my home because I built trailers at my house. That is way different than conducting business out of my home. I do foreclosure cleanouts, and if I did rent a dumpster, they wouldn't be renting them at my house. It's pretty much everything that the prosecutor says is usually just things that he thinks. If you actually went over the evidence and everything, I'm not dangerous to the community. I'm not dangerous to myself. And I just don't understand where he's coming at with all of that. But do I feel threatened at my house? Yes, I do. I feel threatened now. That's why I'm moving. That's why I just went and bought a lot for just a little bit of money I do have to get out of here, because whether anyone wants to admit it or not, the prosecutor has something against me. I don't know exactly what that is. And I feel like, I don't know.
When are you moving?
I don't want to keep prolonging this. I already bought the place, but there's no water, there's no house. I'm going to probably live there in my camper because, the guy across the street, every time I leave, the only neighbor that actually has ever complained about me, if you look, one neighbor, the guy that just moved here within a year and a half ago, is the only neighbor that has complained about me. I've been here for 8 years.
My question is, when are you moving?
Well, why would I want to tell the courts that? I feel like you guys are against me. Talking about taking my guns and stuff. You guys are already violating my rights. Now you guys are talking about taking guns from me. Now you want to ask me when I'm moving?
Yeah, I'm asking you when you're moving.
I just told you. I got to build the house first.
Hold on a minute. Let me speak. Every one of these charges against you are dealing with your property where you're currently staying. If you could tell me when you're moving, and that's going to be before the trial date, then maybe some or all of these would be dismissed because you're no longer in residence there. If you're no longer in residence there, then the city probably isn't concerned about you running a business there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I've also been here 8 years, and you guys are just concerned about a certificate of occupancy. So that, Mr. McCrate, the mayor, the building inspector, he's gave me multiple permits at this place. Why didn't you guys say something about the certificate of occupancy when he was writing me permits to put a new roof on my house?
So I'm going to go back to my question. When are you planning on moving?
I already moved. I just took my camper there yesterday.
Okay.
I had to bring it here.
All right, let me rephrase it.
No, you don't have to. I already
At
moved.
what point do you think you're no longer going to have an interest in 8978 Whitehorn Street?
Yesterday.
So all your stuff is gone from the Whitehorn address?
Well, I still have stuff here, but I'm living there now. And my camper, if you look on the camera you guys have pointed at my house, you'll see my camper had to
I'm a
come.
little bit offended by the fact that you keep saying you guys. I've never had a camera pointed at your house, Mr. Garrett.
Police do.
So do you own the house on Whitehorn or are you renting that?
I own it.
Okay.
And that's
Is your
not,
intention to sell it?
yeah, that's if the prosecutor doesn't take it like he said he was going to. But yes, I'm
So your
trying to
intention
sell
is to
it.
put that house on the market?
Yep.
Okay. Have you talked to a realtor? How close are you into that process?
Oh yeah, I already talked to a realtor.
You haven't listed yet.
He's waiting for me to give him the okay. I have the contract and all that stuff.
Okay, so you're close in the process.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Heather, is Miss Belcher somewhat up to speed?
I'm not sure. I can contact her. Leanna, are you
Just
on?
Bring her in.
She's in already. She's here.
Good morning, Miss Belcher.
Good morning.
Mr. Garrett, I can put you in a breakout room with Miss Belcher. She's one of our attorneys, court-appointed attorneys. She's willing to talk to you about this situation. Miss Belcher, Mr. Garrett has currently pending 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 misdemeanor files. No business license, no certificate of occupancy, disorderly person. He's got a number of civil infractions. I think most of those are violation of technical requirements. The allegation from the city of Romulus is that Mr. Garrett has been running a commercial business out of a residential neighborhood. Mr. Kaplan has made a bond request today, which would be that I order Mr. Garrett to undergo psychiatric treatment or at least get a forensic exam done, order that he have no firearms in his possession, and order that the city of Romulus can remove those items that are inappropriate for that area, which I think would be dumpsters.
Dumpsters or trailers for like dumpsters, yes.
Dump trailers, that kind of trailers,
Dump,
is what your term? Right. As well as schedule a set of cash bond. Hold on, Mr. Garrett, I'm gonna give you a chance to talk to her. I just wanted to try to give her a quick synopsis of where we're at right now procedurally. We've got a jury trial date scheduled on April 4th. I've been trying desperately to get Mr. Garrett to take the advice of counsel to help him through this morass that he seems to have found himself in. Today, he's willing to talk to you. So I'd like to put you in a breakout room. I have not yet decided what I'm going to do with bond. Mr. Garrett just told me that he's planning on listing the house for sale. Obviously, Mr. Kaplan just heard this when I did. I'm assuming that at least some of these charges would probably be appropriate for dismissal if Mr. Garrett no longer owns that property. But obviously, that's something that Mr. Kaplan has not had a chance to review. So I think that Mr. Kaplan had a pretty fair update of where we're at.
The only other thing would be that there's disorderly conduct, I believe, charged too, because from harassment to his neighbor as well.
Yeah, so those
Which is a witness to these cases.
Yeah, so there's a couple charges of disorderly conduct that involve some neighbor dispute. Obviously, those aren't just tied to the real estate, so those probably don't have much chance of a dismissal because of the move. Hold on, you can share all that with her in just a minute, Mr. Garrett. Anything else that Ms. Belcher should know, just to bring her up to speed a little bit?
She can call me if she wants to go over anything too. I mean, but
Mr. Kaplan's in the courtroom if you haven't figured that out.
I got
Okay,
it.
Mr. Garrett, you ready to have a conversation with Ms. Belcher in the breakout room?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Your Honor, the only
Thank you,
thing I would
Ms.
ask No problem. Mr. Lay, I believe, is already in the waiting room. It sounds like Mr. Garrett's file is going to take quite a bit of time. Could we handle the
Want to
Lay?
take care of Lay first?
Yes,
Sure.
please.
Mr. Garrett, give us just a minute. We'll take care of a quick file and then give you some time with Ms. Belcher.
Okay.
Heather, bring Mr. Lay in, please.
He's in, Judge.
Mr. Lay, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Good morning. Ms. Belcher, your appearance.
Good morning, Your Honor. Leanna Belcher on behalf of Mr. Lay. Mr. Lay, can you please start your video so the judge can see you?
Oh, there we go.
Thank you, sir. Your Honor, today's the date and time that was set for a bench trial in this matter. I did have an opportunity to speak with Mr. Kaplan last week. My understanding is that the people would like to see Mr. Lay attend an anger management program. I believe he signed up for that program on Friday. Is that true, Mr. Lay?
Yeah, the 19th. I'm just waiting to get paid to go through the process.
Okay, so Your Honor, we're asking for an adjournment of this bench trial date so that he can complete that program. Upon completion, my understanding is there will be an offer of double parking.
And Your Honor, if I may, for the record, Your Honor, the complaining witness in this case did take the day off of work. She's a nurse at the hospital, and they're pretty busy with COVID. I spoke to her about this. They have a child in common. What she wanted me to relay on this case was that this was not about getting a criminal charge against him because he is the father of her child. This is about, I think, helping maybe with communication between the parties.
Good.
So we reached this resolution with her consent, where he would do an anger management course. Once he has a certificate, if it can be sent to me, I can write a double parking form and send it into the court. And Leanna can put it on the record without me there at any date at time in question.
That sounds very reasonable. Mr. Lay, where are you going to do your class at? What agency?
I'm going to do it online on February 19th.
Your Honor, if I may, Mr. Kaplan sent over a specific site that he wanted to see Mr. Lay do the class through, and that is the site that he will be attending the class through. I forget the name off the top
I
of
forget
my
the name
head.
off the top of my head. I've used this as a defense counsel in Oak Parks District Court. They use it a lot.
Good. It's
So,
a one-day class?
It's a one-day class, like 6 hours online.
Give me some information about that.
Yeah, I'll send you the link. It's what I can say is some certain clients of mine, who took it seriously, did get something out of it. It did help them.
Yeah. Well, good luck, Mr. Lay. Sounds like it might be a good program.
Thank you.
Heather, we got a date?
Leanna's back with us on February 28th, and so is Josh, if that ends up being a day that we get the paperwork back.
And may I just say, it really is up to Leanna's schedule, because I can just write the form at any time once I have a certificate.
Mr. Lay, is your class going to be over by then?
It's going to be over by the 19th. It's a one-day thing.
Okay. That date work for you, Ms. Belcher?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was that the 28th, Heather?
Yes, Judge, February 28th. We have
Yeah.
like 9:30 would be good.
And I think that day we have your juveniles and I'm your parental responsibility person.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, Mr. Lay, sounds like a plan. That work for you?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you, sir.
All right. Thank you.
All right, Ms. Belcher, we'll put you in a breakout room with Mr. Garrett now.
Thank you.
Okay.
All rise to report district court now in session. Judge Oley presiding.
All right, Ms. Belcher,
Yes, Your Honor.
I think we're talking about bond.
Your Honor, what I'm requesting is that this matter be put over to the 28th. There's a lot going on here. I counted 16 files online from 2021. I do not have any of the emails that Mr. Kaplan was referring to. My client has documentation he would like to send me. I don't think that it's fair with me just being assigned to jump into these issues when there's a lot going on, and with bond, my client's liberty could potentially be at stake. I would like to have the 2-week adjournment so that I can gather the documentation and I guess just have a meeting with my client to figure out what has previously happened and where we need to go in this case so that I can make an intelligent bond argument on his behalf.
And Your Honor, if the people may.
Go ahead.
Speaking with Leanna, if he's working with Leanna, who I have a great deal of respect for as defense counsel, people would have no objection to the adjournment to the 28th to address bond conditions, discuss jury trial, which I know Ms. Belcher did say that she can't do the April 4th date. The only thing we'd request as a people is that the formal hearings also be scheduled on the 28th, so that we could probably get those out of the way. Those are the civil infractions that do not have defense counsel on it, and we can have those hearings on the same day.
Okay.
Your Honor, addressing the April 4th trial date, that is correct. I'm out of town the week prior because of the sobriety court conference that I have to attend. I'm on the sobriety court team in 33rd District Court. So I do have that Monday off for travel. And then as it relates to the 28th, I am in person and I did speak with my client. I think it would make most sense if we all came in person on the 28th.
I agree. Any objection to doing the formal hearings on the 28th?
I would not be representing him, so I have no objection for the formal hearings. Mr. Garrett, do you
Mr.
have any
Garrett?
objection?
For the informal hearing in
I-
person?
You got to speak up.
Is it in person?
Correct.
Yeah, I don't want to do that. I don't have the money to buy myself out of jail.
I'm not going to put you in jail on formal hearings. If you lose a formal hearing, there might be fines and costs that I order, but I'm not going to put you in jail. I can promise you I'm not putting you in jail on a civil infraction the day we have the hearing.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Now, Mr. Garrett, Ms. Belcher, I'm not willing to wait until the 28th to talk about at least one item that was discussed on bond. I'm worried about your health, Mr. Garrett. You know, you've mentioned your mental health. So what I'd like to see ASAP is that you at least get evaluated. I want you to go see a professional, dude, to make sure you're on track. Make sure everything's all right.
Hey, if you guys left me alone, I'd be on track.
Mr. Garrett, that's not
Mr. Garrett,
appropriate to
listen,
say.
Mr. Garrett, hear my heart on this.
Whatever.
Brother, I understand you're caught in the system, but you're caught in the system. You can't just walk. Hold on.
I was drug in.
Listen to me. You're caught in the system.
Let's just go to trial.
Your Honor, if that's the case, if I may, Your Honor, if he's not going to
Hold on,
listen.
hold on. All I want him to do is get an evaluation. I want to make sure he's okay.
No, I understand, Judge. I can see I practice in front of you weekly. I know where your heart is and I know you care deeply about the defendants. If there's a concern over his mental health, Your Honor, that I would
He just
refer him
checked
for,
out.
I'll call him.
He
I'll
just
refer him
hung
for, I'll call him. I'll refer him for competency if that's an issue. I just didn't know about those statements about his mental health previously being made.
I just want him to go, and you can tell him where to go. I just want him to go sit down and talk to a professional that can evaluate whether or not he's a danger to himself.
I understand, and I understand if the statements were made, why it'd be a concern. I just haven't been a party to the conversations, Your Honor.
No,
And
I understand that.
if his mental health is a concern,
And
then
listen, I'm not even, I wish he wouldn't have hung up. I don't even want to order that he gets it. I just want to strongly convince him to do it.
I know where you're coming from. You make me tear up
Right.
on your docket all the time. I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, you're a marshmallow.
That I
All
am.
right, so we'll set everything for the 28th, pre-trials and/or formal hearings. Just try to get him to go see somebody.
I will. I'll work with him. And if it's an
You
issue,
know,
we can refer.
if Josh is the maniac that Mr. Garrett thinks he is, then Mr. Garrett should have somebody to talk to, just get it all off his chest.
I understand, Your Honor.
All right. Leanna, thank you very much.
Yeah, you really
We
threw me in
satisfied
this one.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully, I'm hoping that 2 weeks is enough for, I
Hard to
obviously
work some magic.
I have a great deal of respect for Ms. Belcher, so
As do I.
I'm hoping there could be some communication
Right.
set up. And that, so I'm willing to give, I mean, we've gone long enough. If 2 weeks, I'm okay with, before addressing those bond conditions that I
Okay.
listed.
All right. Leanna, I'm gonna let you go then.
Okay, I'm free.
Good luck. Oh, we got a here on video you're gonna need to talk to too.
Me?
Yeah.
No,
video
Judge,
arraignment? Are you
that's
arraignment?
Sam.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Oh, you were just lucky to have the lay file today.
That's all I came for, a 2-minute hearing.
Well, I gotta say this, Leanna. Jeff, I think, does our very best at schmoozing. But Jeff and this guy did not hit it off, so I'm glad we, the fates brought you in this morning.
The fate is, I'm so grateful for the fate.
Work some magic.
I'll try my best.
I know you will. Thank you.
I got yelled at for that.
All right, we're done with you then?
No, we got a restitution hearing.
Oh, that's you too.
But But yeah, we're done with authorship.
So here's where everything lands. The court doesn't shut this case down, it pushes it forward. We've got a scheduled jury trial date on April 4th, a key review and hearing set for the 28th, and ongoing discussions about bond conditions, legal representation, and even mental health evaluation. The judge is clearly trying to balance two things at once: courtroom control and ensuring the defendant has access to proper legal support before this escalates further. But the bigger picture here is accountability versus resistance. How far the court can go in managing compliance before a full trial even begins. And this case is far from over. If you found this case as shocking and intense as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.
Thanks, Tom. Be safe.
Thanks, Your Honor. I'll go hang out. I'll be back.
Yeah, so 2 weeks, my fingers crossed, probably gonna cause some arthritis.